All right, so the Fifine K669B, as I said, this is a cardioid microphone. It's a condenser microphone, so it's a lot more sensitive than a normal dynamic microphone that you would use for live stage singing, that sort of thing. So this is more of kind of like for studio, home studio recording, instrument recording, that sort of thing. Great for YouTube and great for streaming. So it comes with a stand. As you can see here, it sits in this little cradle. There is a nut here that you can actually unscrew, and if you do not want to use a stand, it will fit into a scissor stand if you use a spider mount, which is kind of like what I've done here. So without the stand, okay, it sits like this. Now you can notice that the cable, this is a 2-meter cable. It is USB 2.0, okay. It does fit inside the spider mount right here. This is a standard spider mount. If you were to take the cable, just run it through and then open it up, and then boom, there you go. You have the microphone sitting in there. So this is the front of the microphone. The front of the microphone is where this gain control knob is, okay? And you can turn this gain control knob up to 100%. It's about the 4 o'clock position. I typically found that it was best about halfway, so about 50% volume to 75% is about where I would use this at. It did work really well there, and as you'll listen to the sound recordings, I've recorded 3 different sounds or 3 different tracks that records this two of the tracks, one at 50% volume on the gain and then one at 75%. So it does work well. Now what I kind of wish this had, and I'm going to show you my AT2020 just kind of give you a comparison. I wish the body was a little longer on the bottom, because when you sit this in the spider stand, to get it to sit good, so where it feels solid, you almost have to butt the top of the spider mount right up onto the gain knob here, which is kind of I don't know, a negative for me, but it's still, it didn't really hurt it per se. But you can see that if I were to put these on the top, you can see how much more body my AT2020 has on the bottom as opposed to this. And so that's, this gives a lot more room that you can fit in the spider mount and still have plenty of room to get to your control knobs on the front. So that's one of the things I would recommend, that if they were to look at, increasing the body purely so you can use it in different mounting situations. But really, other than that, I don't really have a lot to say bad about this thing, because it fits the need perfectly for somebody that's looking for a microphone that's going to, that's starting out on YouTube and doesn't want to go spending $100 on a microphone, or even $50. This thing retails for $29.99 on Amazon. Now, if you want to get a detachable cable version of this, they do have a model that is a similar microphone, the K670, I believe, and it does have a detachable USB cable. Other than that, I think functionally they're the same microphone. But that will retail for you $49.99. So now you get on up in there to about $50 range. It's about the same price as the Blue Snowball Ice. Okay, and this is kind of where this is the Blue Snowball's main competitor, I think. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've owned a Blue Snowball and I used it for over 2 years on my live stream before I finally switched over to this AT2020 Plus. And I will tell you that this Fifine microphone sounds better to me than the Blue Snowball. The one thing that I had a problem with the Blue Snowball was that you were kind of limited because of the design of it, that you really, you had to use it in its stand, or you could use it in a scissor stand. You had to unscrew some adapters that it had in the bottom of it to get it to work right. But then, even then, it just was not sensitive enough to me. And it picked up a lot of background noise because you had to really crank it up to get any, get any good level out of it. This is not the case here. This does a great job at reducing background noise, partly because of the frequency response. But you do have better control with this, and it has a better sensitivity to me than I think Blue Snowball does. You will notice that it's just a lot cleaner than what you would hear from a Blue Snowball, and anybody that's owned a Blue Snowball can attest to that. They know that you have to turn it up to get a good sound out of it, and then you're bringing in background noise and all that sort of thing. And you hear a lot of people complain about that, and you hear a lot of people with Blue Yetis complain about that. You will find with this though, this does a great job at rejecting background noise, and you will hear some, but if you just add a little filter, a noise gate, even a little bit of noise suppression if you have to, which I don't recommend you normally do that, but you know, if you have this set right, you really ain't got much of a problem with background noise like you would have at a blue snowball. And so for that, I really have to recommend this over a blue snowball if you're really looking at a microphone. A, this is a standard size microphone, so it's going to fit in more applications for you. B, it just sounds better. And why spend $20 extra on something that's not going to sound as good when you can get 30 bucks for this great microphone and you get better sound quality? So really, let's go ahead and cut over to the sound files now. I'll let you listen to that. I recorded these in Audition. No filters. There's nothing but straight volume plugged into Windows. The Windows setting is at 50, and then I recorded 2 files for this one. One at 50% gain control on the front, and then one at about 75%. And so that is the only difference between the 3 files. And then of course I recorded my AT2020 Plus, which I don't have a microphone gain control on the front of the microphone. So the only thing is there is just set at 50 in Windows. And you'll hear the difference between you'll definitely know the difference between the AT2020 Plus and this. I mean, the AT2020 Plus is a $150 microphone, so you should hear the difference. But you'll also notice that the low end, it brings in those pop noises that this actually did a good job at kind of cutting out. So think about that when you're listening to these. Yeah, I think you'll really be surprised. So let's go ahead and cut over to those sound files now. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. All right, so in conclusion, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, this will be a Frugal recommended buy for anyone that's looking into getting into YouTube or live streaming and they're looking to upgrade their microphone from their standard gaming headset. If you have been looking at getting a blue snowball, I would recommend you take a look at this microphone really hard before you decide to go that. I think you'll get a lot more options with this one. You could fit this one in a standard spider mount. I think this blue snowball spider mount itself is 80 bucks, right? You can get a standard spider mount on Amazon. I think this one's like 20 bucks at the most. A scissor stand, $12, and you have this set up here with this microphone, and you will get better sound out of this microphone than you will a blue snowball. Take my word for it, because like I said, I've owned a blue snowball for a long time, and when I upgraded my AT2020, I couldn't believe the difference in sound. And I'm going to tell you, this for 30 bucks is going to give you better sound than a $50 blue snowball. I'd even put this up against the Yeti in terms of sound quality. And that's hard to say because the Yeti is a $100 microphone. This is $50 less typically, and I think this sounds every bit as good as the Yeti does. If you can get over having a hardwired cable in there, and that's really the only downfall. Like I said, if you need a longer cable, because this is a 2-meter cable, which works in most applications, but there is some that you may not, you just need to buy a female to male USB extension. I've done that. I've got a 12-foot cable that I use for different applications. You can get that on Amazon super cheap too. So even going and buying some extra things, even buying a pop filter like this, which I think was like 10 bucks. Okay, this pop filter fits right onto this microphone, just like so. So you got you a nice little pop filter, you got you a microphone, you got you a spider mount and a scissor stand, all for about the price of what you would spend on a blue snowball by itself. And you get better sound quality out of this. So I can't recommend this enough, really, guys. If you're looking at upgrading your entry level, you're wanting to start out into YouTube or start out into live streaming, and you have a, you know, especially if you have a gaming headset and you have a streaming PC now and you're looking at wanting to get into one of these, take a look at the Fifine K669B. I think you'll be really pleased with it. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I do appreciate this. As always, make sure you hit the like and subscribe as I come out with more content and more streaming tutorials and more hardware reviews like this. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate this. This is Pun Frugal Streamer. Have a great week. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.